which I thought was extremely sweet and compact. It's very short. It's 80 minutes long, and it's just basically kind of, a lot of people are going to compare it to Before Sunset, the Richard Linklater movie. It has something similar to that, but I don't know that it gets as sort of deep and sort of philosophical as that film does. But it is deep into character, and it shows even on this first date, each of these parties helping each other with some of their past hurts and their present worries. Michelle has a great scene. Tika Sumpter is the actress's name. She's terrific. She has a great scene where she talks about how she has to perform better than everybody else because she's the black woman. Just to get on a level playing field, she has to perform better. And that's why she doesn't really want to be out on a date with Barack, who she's supervising in the law office, and she doesn't want this to look like a date, so she wants to keep it quiet and on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's really pressing to go further in this and to actually set up a relationship with this woman, and meanwhile he's a community organizer for working out of a small Chicago church, and he's not quite as far along as she is, and he has some past issues with his father, who he hasn't seen in quite a while, and still has animosity towards. So I don't know. It's directed by Richard Tan, and it's produced by Tika Sumpter as well. She works as a producer on it, and it's beautifully shot and scored, and has a really nice closing song by John Legend, who's also one of the producers. And it's funny, the audience that I saw, which was a majority black audience, I think went out to go see it without knowing anything about it, because when it was finally over, which is really just a couple, there's a scene where they are both getting home from the date, and that's all it is. And then the credits come up, and they went, "What? Oh, come on, that's it? We get as one date?" And I was like, did these people know?
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people?
No,
did the audience know that this was only going to be one date here? But
I think you and I are the only two people that like this movie. I didn't realize it was getting panned as much as it was. I enjoyed it. I mean, I won't lie to you.
If it's getting panned, it's getting panned because the people who are watching it don't like to watch these kind of movies. I mean, we can no longer ascribe great taste to any of the critics out there, because we really don't know anything about these people. And
no, we don't.
They could be just.
Wouldn't it be getting panned because it's Obama hero worship in the tail end of an election cycle?
I don't think that it's hero worship, really, though.
No, it's not.
I don't see the movie like that. It's
there wasn't. I guess you could say that Bush's Oliver Stone's Bush movie had stuff about when he met Laura, and that was at the tail end of his presidency. But that wasn't very flattering.
And that was a rather positive portrayal of Bush.
Yeah, I mean, that movie's not the negative movie that everyone was making out. Let's be honest, that movie is actually not.
No,
that movie.
But you don't walk out of that movie. You don't walk out of seeing the relationship in that movie and talking about how sweet it is.
Yeah, but that's all this movie is a relationship.
That's right.
If that was all that W was, then yeah. But unfortunately, it's not. It goes much further along.
Yeah.
We get to Katrina, I think, in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. And
I
beyond.
do think you get out of this movie. I do think that you come out of this movie thinking, boy, those people do really have a really good marriage going on. And
sure they do. Sure they do.
They do.
So you know, and And I mean, I think the most hero worshipy it gets is when there's a long scene where Obama is taking her to the church that he's helping, and he gives a inspirational speech there that really impresses her. It's probably the first time in the movie that she's impressed by this gentleman.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, I don't know why you would give a movie like this a bad review, because it's just so. It's the kind of movie we don't get to see very often. It's never overplayed. It is exactly. From what I know about their first date, which is not much, but I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, they go out to do the right thing. That's part of the thing, and there's ice cream involved and so forth. So I think it's rather accurate. It's never histrionic or phony.
Do they feed
in any
each
way.
other ice cream? Like
No.
in the classic movie montages?
No, they don't do that.
Do they share a noodle of spaghetti, like a Lady in the Tramp kind of thing?
No, nothing quite like that, Jamie. Nothing quite like that. We learned that Michelle does not like pie. That's what we learned. We learned that Michelle does not like pie.
And by the way, the lead male in it is named Parker Sawyers, and he's very good in it. They're extremely well cast and very. I just thought it was. I mean, sweet is what you get out of it. It's like, boy, that was just a sweet little realistic kind of little movie that we don't get to see very much of. And I loved it.
You're right. We don't. We really don't get to see that. It was. Look, it's a shame that this movie is already being, you know, if you go to Drudge Report, it has the typical headline.
That doesn't count. Of course it's going to get panned there.
Yeah, no, it can get panned.
It's going to get panned at Breitbart, too.
The box office, you know, I went to Drudge.
I mean, box office, it's only going to play in 5 theaters.
Well, no, around here it played in a lot. It was actually showing in a lot of theaters, but I just love how they say at Drudge, Obama movie disappoints. I'm like, guys, just stop it, okay? Let the man get out of office.
What do you didn't think it was going to be, you know, fighting off the stupid horror movie for the box office?
There's no way. I mean, you know what? You already hear it. You can already imagine the criticism of the movie. How dare they? Those liberals make a movie about their president? You know, you can already, you know, see. And that's the same, but it's actually a very sweet movie. I mean, it's incredibly sweet. You can't help but
go see it. I think I think it's an excellent date movie, by the way.
Yeah, it's superb. It's not an insulting date movie, you know. I mean, it's a very realistic. It's just, and you're like, you know, after you watch it, you're like, thank God they met each other. You know, I mean, I have to say that they really.
You do get the impression that they wouldn't have gone as far. In life, if they hadn't met each other, so
yeah, exactly. I mean, so there's something. How do I say it? You feel like you're watching because you're witnessing the last 8 years and knowing that these 8 years could have gone drastically different. You're like, yeah, thank God these two met each other. I mean, you know, there is a sort of, as you're walking out of the theater, there's a sense of relief.